Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Houghtaling. I'm the director of opera here at the university. And I was asked to talk to you a little bit about what opera is all about. First, let's go to the word opera. What does it mean? It means the work. It's from the Latin opus, opera in Italian, and it means the work. When this great genre was first invented and first came about around 1600, they didn't know what to call it. They called it musical fables, musical stories, of course, all in Italian, because remember, all of this was born in Italy. Eventually, they realized that this great genre involved so many things, it involved everything. They had nothing else to call it but the opus, the work. How did it come about? Let's go back to the late 16th century, the late 1500s. Men and women were coming out from under the weight of the church. The church was a beautiful thing, but it had dominated their lives for centuries. Now, particularly in cities, urban environments in Italy, men and women who were receiving more and more education, we're talking about passion, drama, humanism, men and women interacting to share stories. So this harkened back to the ancient Greeks. Thousands of years before, the Greeks had sung their drama. So opera wasn't the first time music and words combined to form an art form. The ancient Greeks did it. Then there was liturgical drama to spread Christianity in the Middle Ages. Now here we are on the brink of the Renaissance and this thing swirling around. We want music. We want stories, we want passion. We are in Italy, after all, which is the birthplace of this genre, and opera was born. Lots of ingredients go into opera, which is why it's called the work, the opus. There's words, music, ideas, singing, instruments, costumes, scenery, lighting. So opera, putting it all together, is a little bit like a traffic flow, like this traffic cone here. Let's now talk about the traffic of opera and how it all comes together in our musical highway. So we've already talked about the fact that the word opera means pretty much everything. But let's strip it down now to the very beginning. What comes first? The idea. The idea for what? The idea for a story. So let's say we're going to create an opera today. Pretty much the process is the same as it was 400 or 500 years ago. Where does an idea come from? From anywhere. Look at me, driving down the street. Paul Feinbaum's on the radio. Could I get an idea for an opera? Sure, why not? Could Nick Saban inspire my story for an opera? Absolutely. People would pay good money for it, right? So first we start with the idea, and then a man called the librettist writes the libretto. You can remember that: library, words, books, libretto, librettist. There we have our idea. We're going to start to work on our story. So now we know that opera combines a lot of ingredients: theater, music, text, poetry, and then all the other theatrical ingredients such as scenery, costumes, lighting, instruments. Let's talk about the musical components. We earlier talked about the idea. We have an idea for a story, and the librettist has created a story. Now comes the composer. I'll play the role of the composer. What were the early ingredients, musical ingredients of opera? Well, we knew we had a story, so we had a musical idiom called recitative. Sounds like reciting, right? Recitativo in Italian is a type of musical writing that sounds like this. Good morning, how are you? I'm fine, thank you, and you? I'm so excited, my girlfriend and I are going to get married. Oh, congratulations. Pretty simple, right? Recitative. Early opera also included the madrigal. Madrigals had been around for hundreds of years, but after a few decades, composers of early opera decided madrigals didn't do much to help them tell their stories, but they liked recitative. Recitative advanced the plot because you could get a lot of words in there as you were reciting, almost like speaking. But then, what would the composer do if he wanted to stop to express a mood? Now, we've just heard two guys talking about the fact that one of them is about to get married, right? Well, he's so happy We have to stop the action and describe the mood, describe the ambiance, describe the air. What mood, what affect has gone out into the air that we are going to describe? What's Italian for air? Aria. And an aria might sound something like this. I'm so happy, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. My girlfriend and I are going to get married very soon, very soon, very soon. I just made that up. I'm not really a composer, but there it is. Now we have the idea, the story, words, text, music, recitative, aria. Things are coming together in our little traffic pattern to form an opera. Now, once it's ready, we move into the theater. So, once again, we've had our idea, we've had our story, we've had music composed by the composer, the librettist has prepared the words and the text. Remember that a story, an opera, can be based on an pre-existing play or a book or a novel, or it can be the idea for a brand new story. All of that happened through the course of opera. Now we put all the ingredients together. Once again, story, music, that marriage between passion and story and drama and music. This is what opera was about. It began in Italy, but it eventually spread all over the world. The big names, Monteverdi, Purcell, Handel, Mozart, Verdi, Puccini. And yes, opera is still being written in every language all across the globe. But the process, the traffic, is still pretty much the same. Words, story, music, and now we're ready for the theater. Costumes have been built. A set has been built. Singers have been chosen. The orchestra is down there now in the orchestra pit, right below me. When opera first started, the orchestra would have been on stage. But sets were very, very elaborate in early opera. This is sort of a simple set, but it gets me high above the audience. And again, all the ingredients for opera have now come together, and I'm ready to sing. I'm ready to sing opera. What does that mean? Communicating a story. Finding a way through my body to use passion to express to you a story so you feel moved. What is the power of music? What is the power of opera? To change the world, to affect you, to bring you joy, to make you think. That's what singing and drama can do. That's why we sing, oh, we sing, to have an impact for you. Opera is in every style. There are rock operas, jazz operas. Opera is a relative, a distant relative to musical theater. You like singing? Sure you do. You listen to the radio in the car, right? You like words you read? Gosh, I hope so. Put it all together. Don't be afraid of opera. Embrace it, live it, love it. Let it affect your lives like it has affected mine for a long, long time. Here I am, an opera singer on a set in the theater. Opera. All the ingredients have come together.